Okay. All right, third time is the charm. Is what they tell me. Third time is the charm. And actually, it looks like we got TikTok live going, even though I lost my Instagram. I think next time I figure out how to get that going at the same time. Third time is the charm. Okay. And let me take a look here. See how YouTube is looking like on my side before I start. We got that going. And actually, okay, all right, it's looking good. It's not choppy. I'm seeing myself here. It's not choppy, and it seems to be working just fine. All right, cool beans, guys. Cool beans. Listen. When you go 2 years, okay, when you go 2 years, all right, and you haven't booted up something. There's gonna be some bugs, but I do appreciate the patience as I figured this back out, and we are, back in the ecosystem, and that's what I call this. I call what we got here the ecosystem, right? Because we're building something here, interconnected, okay, and it's not really about what I got going on, but it's about what the environment together can bring out, right? So we're over time, so I'm just jump right into the conversation I wanted to have, right? And by the way, ask questions as they drop in the chat. We're going to talk about it. First question I saw before, my everything got real glitchy, and I had to drop, was the have I left Haiti? And the answer is no. I'm still very, very, very engaged in Haiti. With hyper distribution. By the way, the company we're okay. It has been easy. Haiti being what it is, getting product out every week at the container level isn't easy. And not just here, since Trump, and by the way, this video, we're going to have a video real soon in June. It's one of the videos very similar to the style before I left, because before I left, I started doing these sort of deeper dive conversations where we had an episode on Kenya. It was pretty well received. I liked the feedback, was solid. You guys definitely liked it. I'm going to do more of it, right? Where we do these deeper dive conversations, bringing stats. It's a bit time consuming. That's probably one reason I contributed to me taking a break, because I was like, I want to do these more, but I didn't have the time to do them. But today, as I'm talking to you, I have more time. I've been fortunate where, go back to hyper distribution, we've continued to grow despite the extreme difficulties, and I've been able to hire some fantastic people in Haiti, which have really taken off my plate, my day-to-day plate, opening me up to, being able to come back here in this capacity, come back to rebuilding that ecosystem that we have. It hasn't been easy. Let me tell you right now, it hasn't been easy because of not only Haiti and all the things you can imagine, because we're in Port-au-Prince. But also, since Trump has been elected, U.S. Customs has been a different animal, boys and girls. U.S. Customs has been a different animal, and I don't want to say any more than that, except to say it's night and day. In terms of not only the tariff, which that's the video I'm gonna make before the end of June. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna break down what the tariff means for Haiti, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. Just for you guys watching right now, I'm gonna give you a little bit of opinion on that. A little cheat, jumping ahead. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little disappointed that he didn't do the full reciprocal tariffs across the board with everybody. When I say full reciprocal, he was supposed to do 40% to India, like 40% to Vietnam. If that had happened, guys, the products out of Haiti, it would have been different. The products out of Haiti overnight would have basically become competitive. Now, I'm gonna leave it alone. That's for the video for me to expand on and really break down, right? But that's coming. Have I left Haiti? I'm answering that question, by the way. I'm answering that question, right? And shout out. I'm gonna give some shout outs. We got my first commenter on TikTok ever. I'm seeing Jason Etienne. Shout out. You're my first commenter because first time I'm doing live on TikTok. Congratulations for that prestigious award for being the first commenter on TikTok. Congratulations to you, my friend. I haven't left Haiti. I mean, listen. I'd be in Haiti talking to you right now if I could fly to Haiti. If I could fly to Port-au-Prince specifically, right? I know you can say you can fly to Cap Haitian. Listen. I don't know. I'm from a time where you can pay $300 round trip, to fly into Port-au-Prince, hour and a half direct, and then from the airport, I'm at my apartment, within a 15-minute drive from the airport. That's what I'm used to. Right now, if you're gonna try to get back to Port-au-Prince, you're paying $900 for an air ticket. Okay. $900 for an air ticket. I'm going to say it again. Maybe y'all didn't hear me. You're going to pay $900 for an air ticket. What are we talking about here? Right? But we're not done. That's just to get you to Cap Haitian. Right? And it's a round trip, by the way. One way you're usually looking at probably, for $450, $500. And then you got to take an airplane ride. Helicopter ride from Cap Haitian to Port-au-Prince, right? Because you're not taking the bus. You're opening yourselves up to God knows what's going to happen, on the road. Most of the road's going to be fine, but as you get to the border of Port-au-Prince, 8 times out of 10, you're going to run into bandits, heavily armed bandits, and Lord knows, what could be on their mind that day. So no diaspora should willingly take that risk. You're gonna take a helicopter. Okay, the helicopter ride. This is just from Cap Haitian to Port-au-Prince. You're looking at $1,000. Maybe I didn't hear me. Maybe this speaker. You're gonna pay $1,000, 1,000, on top of the $900 you paid to fly. And this is, by the way, I'm giving you quotes from Miami/Fort Lauderdale to go to Haiti right now. I'm not even talking about if you're coming from Boston, New York, Canada. I'm not even talking about that. Washington D.C. I'm just thinking of transit hubs, depending on what you're flying on. And then you fly to Port-au-Prince, right? And then all in, you're looking at somewhere around $2,000. Yeah, that's certified teas. That is $1,000 per person. God forbid you're flying with your wife. God forbid you're flying with kids. Right? And so that is the reason why I'm not talking to you from Haiti right now. That's the only reason. I've built a great team, Hyper Distribution. I've built a fantastic team. Quite frankly, I've become a very religious man. Before I moved to Haiti, I wasn't that religious. I was spiritual. I wasn't religious. Haiti has maybe become a very religious man. So you're gonna have to excuse me if I say, hey, start bringing God into this. But God has blessed me with finding some fantastic people in Haiti, and quite frankly, I don't need to be there, And so, what I pay the 900 plus the 1,000 to get to Port-au-Prince if I had to? Absolutely. I don't have to, right? And so that's why I am not right now in Haiti. I don't have to be, right? Because of the team I built. But we're still working. We're still involved. I'm still every single, if I'm not doing social media, I'm still very much involved in Haiti and what's going on. And so it pains me to say, yes, I'm not physically in Haiti, but I'm still in Haiti, believe me. And the moment Port-au-Prince airport reopens, I'm telling you guys, I'm in there. I'm in there, right? But I'm not paying $2,000 to get to Port-au-Prince. I'm just not, unless I absolutely have to. Okay, so that's the answer. I just want to take some time and answer that, right? But so listen, guys, it's glad to be back. I want to do some shout outs real quick for some folks I'm seeing in the chat. C17 Legit, let's get it. What's up? Mary Pierre, what's up? Prestige Multi-Service, what's up? Terry Daniel, what's up? Black Millennial, what's up? Certified Tees, how you doing? IET Logi, what's up? Sophie, what's up? Right? And some folks in TikTok chat. We got Queen 1804, what's up? And also, again, I usually have TikTok open. I had TikTok working up until a few moments ago, but next time TikTok will be up. So let's just jump into some of the other details I wanted to talk about, which is what's next, right? So as I mentioned in the video, we're going to be producing content all over now. The moment Haiti reopens up, and I probably won't even wait for Haiti to reopen up. I probably before the end of the year will fly to Cap Haitian. Yeah, I know, $900 just to fly. I'm not going to fly to Port-au-Prince, so I'm not paying another $1,000. Probably fly to Cap Haitian, do some content in Haiti before the year's up. So that's coming. So again, in Haiti content is still going to happen. But in the meantime, we're going to be doing deep dive conversations about various topics that are affecting Haiti, and you really give a perspective from someone who's on the ground, who's engaged, who's businessman, and also who comes from economic background. For folks who don't know, I have my undergraduate from Florida State University in traditional economics and international affairs. I have my graduate degree, also from Florida State University, in applied economics. And I used to teach economics at the community college level, junior college level, for years. And so, I do have that capacity and appreciation for the academics of economics, right? And so oftentimes what I'm talking about what's happening in Haiti from that perspective, okay? But I'm not just an academic. I'm on the ground building businesses, right? Businesses that, quite frankly, earn a lot of revenue, right? And so it's really giving that perspective on both fronts, from the high level and the guy on the ground, and bringing it together, so you guys can understand it, so you guys can be empowered and act on what we're doing, right? So deep dives are going to happen. That's one. We're going to be doing content here, because I'm in South Florida, primarily. But for example, end of next month, I'm going to be in Chicago. So we're going to do some stuff in Chicago. And then a week after that, I'm going to be in New York. We're going to be doing some stuff in New York, right? Where else am I going? Oh, in a few months from there, I'll be in France. So we're going to be doing some stuff in France, right? And who knows? Who knows? I was looking at a good friend of mine's timeline, and she was mentioning San Francisco and a big Caribbean thing happening in San Francisco. There's a chance I may go out there too. Thinking about it. I may not do it, but that's where my mindset's at right now. My mindset now is just, where is the story, right? Where is the story of Haitians impacting, working together in these communities that we are? Because at the end of the day, Haiti being what it is right now, where you're having to pay $2,000 to get the Port-au-Prince, it's very clear to me that, the story of us as Haitians, it can't stop because Haiti is a blockade right now. We have to continue to achieve. We got to continue to improve ourselves, not just individually, but as a group, because, Haiti will never permanently change until we change, and then we can impact that change to Haiti in various ways. Not only just moving to Haiti, but also let's be honest. The Haitian, the U.S. government has a tremendous influence on Haiti, and if we can galvanize ourselves and influence the U.S. government as U.S. citizens, right, then we have a tremendous capacity to influence Haiti for the better, right? But we have to get to a point where we can influence U.S. politics. And U.S. politics by doing what? By becoming an economic force that can't be ignored. You see what I'm saying? And that's why one of the big things I will always try to highlight right away will be change makers who are doing it in business, who are doing it in any particular way, right? And then also in other forms, education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So that's two. So number one, we're going to be doing deep dives. Number two, we're going to be highlighting change makers in every form, but business is always going to be right there. And by the way, when we do business, it's not just going someplace and eating food or showing a product or showing a service. It's really from a perspective of, you see this book right? There's a book right here. Let me take it off the shelf. This is a book, guys, that, again, I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just letting you know what's out here, okay? But specifically, when I wrote this book from the perspective of, quite frankly, like an MBA, like someone who's legit trying to, like, what's the name of the book? First off, 101 Ways to Make Money in Haiti, Lucrative Business Ideas, Insightful Success Stories, and Interesting Business Opportunities for Visionary Entrepreneurs, right? And so this book was written, this was a labor of love. It's a little crooked, so be it. It was a labor of love, right? Took me a better part of a year to write. But if you read it, we have a lot of case studies, right? Because it's not just about, regurgitating, vomiting ideas, but really providing concrete examples of folks doing fantastic work, okay? And then giving you guys a carrément, okay? To assist you guys in terms of getting that idea its roots and letting it grow. And so when we go to these locations, and you'll see it in the very first episode, we'll drop probably 2 weeks from now. In the meantime, we'll talk about the other content we'll be doing. It's really from that perspective. Like, what can you learn if you're thinking about starting a restaurant? What can you learn if you're thinking about opening up a clinic? Like, what can you learn if you're thinking of opening up a store, right? What are the things you need to be looking for? Because I tell you what, there isn't enough restaurants that are doing good and well rated anywhere, okay? There isn't enough stores that are doing lights out that are Haitian owned, right? There isn't enough markets, right? There isn't enough real estate development companies, right? And so how do we get these stories out, right? And I appreciate the subscriptions and stuff. Let me see how that's looking like. I may have to fix that. I think it's repeating itself. I'll fix that. But I appreciate the follows. And so when we're on location and we're producing these episodes, understand that that's what we're going to be trying to do, right? Really highlighting, accentuating those particular angles, right? Number three, third topic, it's going to be just sort of some more quick content that I'll be creating on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Reels, probably drop it on TikTok as well. Oh, definitely TikTok. Though TikTok is a different animal. TikTok really doesn't like, well, it has its own thing it wants you to produce for it, but we'll try to figure that out as time goes on. And X, right? And so we're just quick shorts. For example, one short that I'm going to be doing in the next day or two, as a new father, I have two beautiful baby girls, quickly approaching 3 and 2, but they're still 2 and 1. Okay, I don't want them to grow up too fast. So I want to keep them 2 and 1 for as long as I can, right up until midnight on their birthday. They're going to be 2 and 1. and so I want to share like some of the programming I've been watching on YouTube that has been helping them speak Creole. Because, I mean, quite frankly, it breaks my heart that my kids aren't in Haiti right now, because that was always the big vision and dream for me, which was to move to Haiti, have my family there, right? That was always the big ambition, vision, hope, desire, right? But that didn't happen. Nonetheless, my girls are going to be, you think I'm super Haitian. Believe me, my mission in life, number 1, their safety, their health. Number 3, they also being boss ladies themselves. Okay, nothing is gonna be out their limit for them. Whatever they want, dream it, they're gonna get it. Okay, but then number 4, super Haitian, right? Super Haitian, right? And part of that is Creole. Part of that is having their Creole, right? And so another thing we're going to be doing is, again, as an example, a quick short 1 minute to say, hey, here's some of the things I've been watching on YouTube and they've been really, really good. Use this for your own kids, your own toddlers that, who are trying to learn Creole. Hell, even, there's a couple of you folks right now, Creole Noulou. So même nous-mêmes, nous avons profité. Gade ba ça écraser langue nous. Right? So even you guys can profit from watching a little bit of these programmings as well, because they're really, really good. If they're good for toddlers, they can be good for you as an adult trying to learn Creole, right? So that's number 3. Of course, these lives are going to be just like I used to like doing the lives before, where, though I'm going to try to keep them short, believe it or not. I know we used to do like these 3-hour long lives. Listen, first off, on the weekends, first off, I'm not trying to do anything on the weekends no more. Even shoots, I try to do them during the week now. The weekend is for me to recover from a long week of stress, of running a business, just this and that. The weekend is for me and my kids to do something, right? It's very, very rare for me to do a shoot, like I used to, because that's the other thing that kind of had me take a break. Because I mean, every weekend I was out somewhere shooting, on top of having a very, very full week of work, right? Running my affairs, and so that's the reason why we're doing these on Monday nights now, right? Because it's during the week. Earlier the week, I have a lot of energy coming back from the weekend. I can engage with y'all. But when I do these lives, a big part of these lives are going to be, going back to current events, right? Checking out news. I'm gonna pick 2, maybe 3 stories that again have that business angle, right? And talk about it, right? And bring you guys the perspective of someone like myself, who, again, I'm not physically Andy, but I'm on the ground, believe me. And then you in the know of what's going on from the perspective of that, right? And beyond that, just trying to be more consistent with content, guys. That's really the big thing. I ain't nothing goofy. I ain't gonna be doing no TikTok dances. Don't expect that. That's not coming. But do expect just information, or do expect a sort of quality of content, and just better consistency, throughout, and finally, another type of content I'm certainly looking forward to doing for sure is going to be highlighting others doing great work. There's been a lot of really, really good content happening, man. I love it. And a lot of these guys, the flavor, there's a certain flavor that these guys, I can see, how do I say this? There's a certain je ne sais quoi in terms of the style they're using, and I appreciate the influence that SeeJeanty Media has had on the landscape of media, of social, of video media, that didn't exist before. Like, I'm not gonna name names, but because I appreciate what they're doing, I love it. But I think you guys can catch it too. You guys can catch it as well. There's a generation of influencers that, and quite frankly, when I speak with them, they tell me straight up, "Hey, SeeJeanty, the work you were doing influenced me. The work you did, got that idea in my head to start producing content." And so, mission accomplished. Because quite frankly, when I started this, I didn't see what I wanted to do out there, and so I did it. You understand what I'm saying? And so, the fact that we have folks who, have been influenced and are producing content, and pretty good content, I want to highlight it though. And that's one thing there's, when I started this, the vanguard of the folks who were before me, not doing content like what I was doing at all, like mine, but the vanguards of, media, they didn't really embrace me. I've to this day, I still feel like, there's a vanguard of medaists in the Haitian sphere that don't mess with me. I won't name names. That's not the mature thing. I want to. There's a few in particular but one in particular actually that really bothers me. To the point where, one of my videographers, I had a team of videographers, and one of them started grabbing our old content, our old footage, recutting it and posting on his media channel, which really bothered me. I mean, in any other context, if it was straight U.S., I'd probably get legal action. You don't do stuff like that, right? And but I did like copyright strike stuff like that because it was really unacceptable, right? It's to take the content on our shoots and then recut them and put on your media, right? I won't name names, but those who know. And so, but then they would take that content and put it. So this, I said, there's another group that I felt isolated from, but they would take my videographer's content, and I'm talking every other video was being rebroadcast on theirs, even though it was basically it was like 90% the content we produce at SeeJeanty Media, but they wouldn't show me any appreciation, no love, nothing, just silence, despite what you guys know of what we were doing here. But my guy who left me and was recutting my same content was being reproduced, right? And I was like, man, so the same, basically 90% the same video. I was like, all right, man, cool. All right, dog. All right, big dog. Go ahead, man. But I'm not like that. Again, I am the change I want to see in the world. I implore you to be the same way. Be the change you want to see in the world. And so I want to big up as many content folks who are doing fantastic work. And so that's another type of content that I'm going to be doing. It might be just quick little, show my head, in sort of like Dr. Protrude does, like show her head and then kind of talks about, or does maybe I think you guys call them stitches, right? Where you show the video and then I'll come right after and I'll talk about it. So I'm going to be doing that as well in the coming days, just to kind of big up, other content producers who are just doing fantastic work. And so just look out for that as well. And so that's kind of the stuff that's coming. I just want to get on here real quick and just tell you guys what's coming from that perspective. And beyond that, the fact that your support will go a long way in terms of hyper distribution. We're on Amazon. We have even more SKUs than we had before. I think if you saw the video, you saw a good chunk of the products we're selling on there. Excuse me. A big chunk of the products are on there. So, please feel free to support. Because quite frankly, it's hyper distribution and its growth that's allowing me to come back. I'm able to earmark a marketing budget under hyper distribution that's supporting SeeJeanty Media, at least until SeeJeanty Media gets its legs behind it like it used to, between YouTube AdSense and sponsorships, independent sponsorships. So that's going to be something that we're going to be looking to aggressively get in a few months, so we can hold water. Especially since now things are a little different because I'm using videographers and teams that are here. The cost base is a little different when you're using folks here, so it's going to be even more important that I figure that out as quickly as possible. But we'll figure that out. But in the meantime, if you are a business owner, a change maker, if you're in education, healthcare, really the biggest help you can help me do, one or two things. If you're that and you're watching, you want to be highlighted, wherever you are, you let me know. You can be in the middle of Portland, middle of Nebraska. I'll put you on the schedule. Eventually, I'll figure out a way in the coming weeks / months to make my way up to the middle of Nebraska and highlight you. Trust me, that is something that we're going to be doing. Right? We're not restricted geographically anymore. Okay, if you're doing something awesome, anywhere you are, we're coming to you. I'm coming to you. Just know that, right? So make sure you hit me up. SeeJeanty.com. I don't know how to put stuff on screen yet. I'll figure that out. I'll figure it out, and then when I do, I got some things I got to learn on this between now and next stream. There's some things I got to learn, but SeeJeanty at hypro.solutions. Man, I wish I could just type it on the screen, but it's in the description of that other video, right? SeeJeanty. Let me see if I type that. What's the type of? Anyways, we'll figure that out. But yeah, there you go. Somebody typed it for me. Jason Etienne, you're the man. I appreciate it. And if someone in YouTube or Facebook can also type it for the chat, I infinitely appreciate it. As I try to relearn how to, put stuff on screen again. I think I kind of know how to do it, but I don't want to be bothered. It's a little late. But next time I'll make sure I have it figured out. But let's see. So that's a big part of what I want to talk about. Let me answer some questions. Let me see if there's a questioner here that I can answer while we're here. Yeah, I do have a moderator in the chat, by the way, guys. I do have a auto chat moderator that kind of is supposed to restrict, certain behavior. I can probably lessen it though, if it's being a little too restrictive. So Dino, oh my God, Getman, Petit Frère, Merci Petit Frère. That first name is a tongue twister. Good to have you back. Have you left Haiti? I think you came in a little late, Petit Frère. But no, So first off, understand, I was basically 50-50 between Haiti and U.S. because of this business that I have. Because the revenue side of the business, the sales side of the business is here. Things are leaving Haiti, coming to the U.S. And so I had to be here to set up the infrastructure, to set up, knock on doors, knock on markets, build those relationships with wholesalers that I have now, And now that I have it, I don't necessarily listen. If I could fly to Port-au-Prince, I'd probably be spending probably 80% of my time in Haiti right now. But I can't fly to Port-au-Prince. And then again, when you have a family, when you have kids, the mathematics is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just me anymore and my comfort. It's the comfort of my kids. It's the comfort of my wife, right? And though where we are in Port-au-Prince, Haiti is safe, you know, the travel to there, back and forth, for me, for my kids, it wouldn't be something I'd feel comfortable with. And so that's why they're here, right? And that's why I'm here. But understand, even with all that said, I would still be in Haiti for like at least half of a month if I didn't have to pay $2,000 to get to Port-au-Prince. And at the top of the stream, you must have missed it, Petite Fouet. I mentioned, you know, to get from Fort Lauderdale / Miami to get to Cap Haitian, you're paying $900, and then once you get to Cap Haitian, you got to pay $1,000 to get on a helicopter from Cap Haitian to, and that's low rates. I'm talking. There's rates it's as high as even $1,400. I'm hearing to fly from Cap Haitian to Port-au-Prince. I'm not paying $2,000. I'm used to. I'm from a time where you pay $300 round trip. I'm not paying $2,000. I have a great team of men and women who work for Hyper Distribution. Solid earth guys, hardworking guys, well-paid guys that are doing great work. I don't need to be in Haiti, right? And if I had to be, if I absolutely had to be, yes, I'd pay $2,000 and fly out there and be there physically. But quite frankly, I'm a type of business person, like I build process. I don't, that's one thing that, the business that we're going to be highlighting are businesses that have really, really good, processes behind them. And let's be honest, guys. So many Haitian mom and pops in general, they don't generally have good processes, but Haitian mom and pops in particular tend not to have good business processes. Quite frankly, a lot of the big businesses in Haiti don't have good business processes. I made it a point to have, process at the forefront. If there's ever a failure or issue that happens at my company, I'm like, all right, no one's in trouble. Let's try to learn from this. What happened? Where was the breakdown? Let's do a root cause analysis. What was the breakdown? And how then do we build something internally? Spreadsheets, is it documents? Is it a printout somebody signs? Checks and balances. What do we change so that this doesn't happen again? And we've done this since 2021 to the point now the business is basically on autopilot, right? The business is basically on autopilot. And when I say I don't need to be in Haiti, I don't need to be in Haiti because of the business, the processes in the business we built. And so I don't need to pay $2,000, right? Everything is operating the way it's supposed to. Think knock on wood. Anything can happen tomorrow. Like tomorrow, we can still go bankrupt. Like tomorrow, something incredible might happen, and we're out of business. But if it can be perceived, if we can figure out a way to manage it, build a new process to manage it, we're gonna do it, right? And so we're here and we're still pushing, right? So, Petite Fouet, that's your answer. A recession-proof asked a real cool question, really good question. He asked, how do I do this? I got to figure out how to put comments on screen and stuff. I'm going to figure all that out next time for next screen. I should be writing. I should have a little pen and paper so I can write. Anyway, let me put on my notepad. Hold on, let me just type the little things I got to do between the next stream. I have to, number one, figure out how to add or chat back and add text on screen. And then number two, I gotta figure out how to highlight comments on screen so you guys can see what I'm reading, so just debating on my words. Let me save that real quick so I don't lose that. fixes for the extreme. Boom. All right. We'll get that fixed for next screen, guys. I promise. Again, going back to process. You see, that's a process fix. Right? Do I still have hope for Haiti? I mean, I have to, man. I mean, for me not to have hope for Haiti would also I feel like simultaneously like not be Haitian. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if I were to lose hope for Haiti, I would have to simultaneously like say, okay, I'm also done being Haitian. You know, I'm American now. I wash my hands with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not gonna do that. You know, so long as I am Haitian, you know, I'm not gonna stop being Haitian. I'm gonna have hope for Haiti. I'm gonna keep working. I mean, what can I do? What can I do except to continue to work, continue to, you know, build the business I have. That's buying Haitian products. You know, we're employing directly and indirectly. Directly, 20, 30 people. Indirectly, 100 plus through the farmers, the farmer network. But that's a drop in the bucket. I want to, in the next 10 years, I want to be able to say we're employing hundreds and impacting thousands, right? I mean, but what else? I mean, that's what I can do, right? I can try to influence the economy from the perspective of as a business person, providing jobs. But then this is another reason why we had to reboot SeeJeanty. We had to reboot it because we have an ecosystem here of Haitians all over the world who care about Haiti, who want to work together, who are working together. We don't have a platform, right? I don't, you know, despite the fact that there is new content creators doing incredible work, you know, probably biggest hats off, without a doubt, Dr. B, and the fact that the way she's been able to galvanize the diaspora and the giving and the infrastructure projects she's been doing, in addition to her education through PHP Global. By the way, if you're not supporting Dr. B, please go support her. She's doing some fantastic work. But beyond that, I don't see anyone of the diaspora really doing that, you know. And so we got to pick up the mantle, you know, and get back to it, you know, I appreciate all the comments on TikTok. I see some folks coming and chatting and dropping comments. I appreciate it. I certainly appreciate it. Right. And I guess let's answer two more questions and then we're gonna call it. I just wanted to hop on, give you guys the background of what sort of content's coming, how to support us. You know, do the all call again. If you have a business, if you're a change maker, if you're in education, if you're in healthcare, if you're doing something awesome, DM me, SeeJeanty at hypro.solutions. Let's get connected. Let's get you on the schedule. Just wanted to do that real quick. And really, I wanted to test out this new ecosystem of. Sorry, we don't know ecosystem too much. This new infrastructure of for the live. It's very different from what I had before, and so there's still some bugs and kinks. So there's a multi-factor reason why I wanted to set this up. But it seems to be, you know, I think mission accomplished for tonight. And I appreciate the folks who came on. I think at peak we had about 24-ish folks, you know, for Monday night. That's not bad, you know, but we'll work on getting those numbers up. I think before we left, we were pushing consistently 70, 80 people on the live, so we'll get back to it. You know, in the meantime, there's some things I didn't do as well to kind of push the live like I usually do, but we'll do that as well next time. Just wanted to get on here real quick and fix these and understand what these bugs were. Right? Let me see something. Test. Play with the volume. Test. Okay, we'll leave the volume alone. So actually, I'm gonna answer 3 questions. If I've already answered, I'm not gonna answer it from you again. But let me ask 3 new questions that I may have seen. Let's see. What does your business do? Hyperdistribution.com. Visit the website. Hyprodistribution.com. How do you spell it? HAIPRO distribution.com. Again, once I learn how to put stuff on screen, next time I put it on screen and then you'll see it, right? But Hyprodistribution.com. and go visit the website. You'll see what we do. Right? Okay. That's 2 more questions. Let's see. 2 more questions. Let's see. Any strategy to neutralize the gangs and restore order in Haiti? Whew, now that's a video of its own. I like that. That's a video idea of its own. Like how, the video idea is basically, what do we do? Like how do we what do we do? I like this. Deep dive. That's a deep dive video topic. How do we deal with these gangs? And quite frankly, the way we answer that question isn't just me talking to my ass, right? It's literally how have other countries who have had very, very distinct gang problems and gang eras, how have they solved them? And what can we learn from that? Right? And so that's what that video is going to be about, right? Because I may have some opinions, obviously, but opinions, anyone has. You go to a barbershop, you get opinions. Let's get some facts behind this, right? Let's get some facts behind this, right? And appreciate the sub, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get some subs. We're going to get some facts behind, the direction we can go with this, with that topic, and then we'll talk about it. So let's put a pin on that question. Great question. I appreciate it. and we're going to come back to it. And I guess the final question. How are you managing with the tariffs? I think I did. Well, that's a great question. I didn't really talk about that, but short answer is, by the way, there's going to be definitely the very next deep dive conversation episode we have is going to be on tariffs. So look out for it. It's going to drop before the end of June. The short answer though is I've raised my prices 10% because Mr. Trump. Everyone's trying to tell you, sir, that the way tariffs work is Americans pay for it. I get charged 10%, and then I turn around and I charge the people I sell, my wholesalers, right? My wholesalers and my direct-to-market people, I charge them 10%. And then guess what? My wholesalers, they turn around and they sell it to their markets and their final buyers 10% because they're not going to eat 10%. And then the markets, guess what? The markets that you'll go into to buy your Haitian rice and your jonjon and your boule chocolat and your Haitian beverages and everything that comes out of Haiti, guess what? They've increased their prices by 10%. So at the end of the day, guess who's paying the tariffs? You. You are, right? So that's the reality. The reality is, prices have gone up by 10%, because no one's eating that. No one is eating that. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? So, so I guess that's my third question I've answered. Actually, let me ask one from TikTok because I do appreciate, the TikTok piece of it. Oh my God, we've been on here this 48 minutes. God damn, that's the thing about lives, man. Time freaking flies, man. And I appreciate the sub. I gotta fix that. It's like double showing. I'm gonna fix that. Let me put that in my number 3 thing. I gotta fix the sub. Number 3, fix the sub notification. But so the TikTok question was, do you have any operation in Paya or Watermiraguan? I mean, I have over an acre of land in Paya. You guys seen the episode? If you haven't, maybe just letting you know, there's an episode where I took my dad after, oh my God, how many years was he out of Haiti? 20, 30 years, right? And that was his first time coming to Haiti, going to our ancestral land, where our grandmother and her family were, and our piece of that land is over an acre, of land that we have, and we're still managing from a distance. We completely rehabbed our grandmother's old beat down house. It didn't have a roof. I mean, it was completely we completely rehabbed it We have an attendant who lives there, who watches. Every other day my dad's showing me photos of chickens that are being raised. We got pigs, we have cows on that land now. We're growing different things depending on the season in Payan right now, and that's one of the biggest things I look forward once Haiti allows me to. I have big visions for what we can be doing in Payan. In fact, I have an acre of land in Payan, and on top of that, we've been purchasing land as well. We bought at least a fourth of an acre so far since COVID, and part of the new place of the land that we purchased. I want to build a very large lodge that could function as an Airbnb and do an ecotourism sort of thing, right? Where you come, Payan. If you know anything about Payan, it's up in the mountains, beautiful, picturesque, and do a sort of eco-touristic, stay up there, and that's something I'm going to do once, the thing that's limiting me is that when I can't even fly to Port-au-Prince right now. Even if I flew to Port-au-Prince, I can't take the road, through Matissan to get to Payan, right? So once those things change, and I'm confident they will at some point, because they have to, then I can be very earnest in getting that project going. But in addition to some other projects, distribution projects that we have planned for the country in Haiti, not just Payan. But Payan certainly would be a very important, or Miagwan anyways, would be a very important waypoint for us once that things get going. But anyways, to answer your question, yes, we will have operations in Payan and Water Miagwan once there is just a semblance of security. And that's one thing. That's another reason why I have hope. To go back to the question somebody asked earlier, do I have hope for Haiti? I have hope because there's a pent up amount of investments that are sitting on the sidelines right now. That the moment there can be even the semblance of security, and I say semblance, my son gets reopened, the airports are flying back in from Port-au-Prince without having to do $2,000. I'm telling you, man, you guys will be so shocked how quickly Haiti will be back on that right path, because there's so many folks like me just on the sidelines, just like, ever seen somebody play hopscotch and you're kind of just waiting, you're trying to wait for that, that's where so many of us are, but we just can't because of the situation, right? So en tout cas, so that's the live. I stayed up much longer than I thought I was going to, but I think it was worth the conversation. I was happy to get back to you guys, man. And these are conversations we're going to be having. These are conversations we're going to be having now that we're back, and it's going to be a foot to the gas and all impact. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great evening. And guys, we're back at it again. We're back